My daughter, she is 15. She has scoliosis. She had growth rods at age 6. Up until last year, she had permanent rods put in her back. She has had 15 surgeries in 6 years. And when I started, she had broke a rod, so we had to have emergency surgery. They were very, very, very sweet with me, and when I had to change and take time off, they were very nice and helpful on arranging that it would work with me. Last year, my husband ended up with septic in his leg and almost lost his leg. The time being the only breadwinner of a family because my husband has Crohn's disease. Having to be home with kids and running back and forth to make sure proper arrangements are made for him at the hospital. They worked with me that if I needed a different day off than what I was scheduled, they would let me work one of my days off and take a different day off. And then of course last year, my mother ended up with fasciitis. It's a flesh-eating disease, and she lost her leg. And they have been very great and very understanding when it comes to family. And I've really needed that with my family. I work, if I don't have my job, my family don't have a house. My kids don't have anything. That's how I look at things. I work around my job, but when it comes to that I need the time, it's amazing that they will work with you and help you with everything that you do need. And Doug has been very good with when my mom was having the problems and all, that if I needed something, he like I said, he asked me every time I come in how she's doing. He still asks me, and if I needed something, he will work around with everything and help me. And it has been amazing to have a job that's like that. And like I said, there's not very many places out there that are like that.
After I retired, I went through a divorce and kind of got depressed and was down for a while, and thought I had to do something to get out of it. So I come down and got an application and applied for it and got called for an interview and got hired. When I started working at Rural King, it really changed my life for the better. It got me out, got me around people. Actually, I gained another family. You know, this is my family right here. Like I said, I mean, I know where I was at before, laying on the couch depressed, and now I'm just like, you know, happy as a lark, you know, and gratified that not only for Rural King, but for Donovan, you know, to give me this opportunity.
If you had 3 things wrong with you, you had to go through the Naturally Slim program. Rural King paid for it. I didn't think I would have to go through it. I was very upset. No one wants to hear you're in poor health. But I needed insurance. And so I thought, I will do this. It is probably the best thing I have ever done in my life, except quitting smoking and getting into the RK Shares program. I put it right up there with that. I have to say, it saved my life. I've lost 30 pounds. They taught me how to eat. We eat more than we're supposed to. And they taught you how to eat. It saved my life. It's a gift from God. And I want to thank RK for Life. I want to thank Rural King for giving me the opportunity to do it. I thank them.
I had some issues at home with a couple of my kids. I was actually off for a month. There was an ongoing investigation where I had to focus on my kids and my family. I then went to my store manager, and without blinking an eye, he was on the phone talking to people, taking care of me. They did give me the leave so I could take care of my family, and I was so appreciative of it, and that's why I'm here every day, busting my tail, trying to get anything, learn anything that I can, and help out this company that's just amazing.
I went to the doctor for my RK wellness visit. Didn't think anything of it, thought it was just gonna be fine, go in, have my blood work taken, you know, get weighed, everything like that. Well, I left and was feeling pretty good. I got a call 3 days later, and they were going over my results, said that my cholesterol was at stroke level. and I'm gonna be 28 next week. So that's kind of sad, like, to think that. The Naturally Slim people saw my results and I had to do Naturally Slim. I was not thrilled about it whenever I got the email that I had to take it because, I mean, I was 26 years old. Why do I have to do this? You know, I shouldn't have to be on blood pressure medicine. I shouldn't have to be on cholesterol medicine. So I was mad when I started it, but after going through it, it's really been very helpful. Well, I'm very thankful that Rural King has offered the Naturally Slim program. It has made me feel better. It's giving me the chance to grow old and watch my kids grow. So, and it's just overall a great program. I would highly recommend it to anyone that it's offered to.
I'm a mother of 3. I have an 11, an 8, and now a 1-year-old. I had my last son, Gunner, a year ago on January 20th. They worked around all my appointments, my maternity leave. I am able to get short-term disability, so I was able to get, you know, a percent of my income back, which was very, very helpful. Being an RK shareholder, I was able to go into some of those funds to get while I was also gone on maternity leave. So that was very helpful with not having the income coming in as much. I'm glad that I work for a company that is very family oriented, and here at our store level we have awesome managers that also understand the importance of family. It makes me feel great and I'm very pleased. I've been here for 6 years. Rural King's doing something right. It's a great company to work for.
I've been out looking for a job ever since Mills Pride had closed down, and I was curious about working here at Rural King, and you know how they would actually work with me, if they would be open to hiring me being deaf, and instantly, I mean, I just felt welcomed. I started out stocking, and Donovan had me, he was curious, you know, if I could stock. And then I said, you know what, I really enjoy putting things together, and a couple months down the road, I said, would you be open to me working back in the repair area or assembly area, putting things together? And he said, yeah, we'll give it a try. And so he even allowed me to do that, and I love it back there. You know, when I was here in the stock area, there were a lot more customer contact, and back there, it's easier for me to focus. There's not as many hearing people trying to communicate with me, so it makes it easier. You know, I come to work every day. I just enjoy what I do. I enjoy the actual repair work and all that. I never dread coming to work here because I think it's fun. But it doesn't matter if the weather's bad. I'm here. That never affects me from coming. So I think it's great working here with people.
Take some time off. My mom is not in the best of health, and when I first applied here, I applied for part-time only because of my mother. And the store manager talked to me, and he sat down and convinced me to take the full-time position with the contingent that, you know, my mother's health was rapidly declining and I didn't know what would be happening. And he fully understood that, and family is very important to him. So I went ahead and I took the full-time position. And about a month ago, my mom's health declined quickly, and I ended up having to take days off and days off. So finally I sat down and talked to him and told him what was going on, and he allotted me 2 extra days off for each week for the last 3 weeks, and I'm just now getting back to full-time again. And every day I came in that he was here, he would always sit there and ask me, took the time out of his day to really make sure that I was okay and my mother was okay. And you know, things like that meant a lot to me, so it made me really, really want to work harder for him as a person, because there's not very many jobs anywhere that you're going to get this kind of help, respect, and thoughtfulness. I've been here 7.5 months, and I've already gotten quite a name for myself. People know me pretty well, and people here are very easy to get along with. I enjoy it.
All of a sudden, one day I got a phone call, said, you know, my husband had been put in intensive care unit with his lungs full of blood clots. So I had to leave, and I really didn't talk to anybody. I just left. And then I called later and I was like, look, this is what's going on. And they said, you know, you're fine. We got this. And it really hit home. It made me realize that, you know, big corporations like Rural King, there is really a heart behind it too. You know, they care about us. And then in this past June, I actually had quit because, you know, I just got to where everything was just too much for me all at once and everything. And I quit for 3 months. That was actually the worst 3 months of my life. It was. I really missed it here. I cried. I had to finally swallow my pride in September and ask for my job back. And they was really great about working with me and getting me my job back.
When they do all of the upper management does their walkthroughs, they took the time to stop by my line and personally ask me, how you doing today? Is there anything that you see that we can do better? They really cared what I thought and how the way I was doing the job to make it easier for me. In turn, I gave them the same thing that they expected from everybody else. Every day, I look for things that protects RK from the average workforce. Alex introduced me to his wife, and his exact words were, "She's one of us." So in order for me to represent his thoughts of me, I have to produce and be productive what he would expect me to be. And that's my goal every day.